Hey y'all, this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler, and you've arrived at day 89 of the 100 Days of Zentangle Project 2019. Thank you all so much for being with me on this journey. And today's tangle is a request from one of you guys who's requested who's requested the pattern Cirque by CZT Chris Gerstner. And Chris has given me permission to post her step out in the Zia group, Zia's Tips, Tricks, and Techniques on Facebook. So you can check there if you'd like to see the step out. And let's get to Cirque. Cirque is one of my older favorites, also, like Jenny Lee. And if I can get a picture of it, I'll show you a big Cirque that I was working on. I have had so much fun with this pattern over time. So Cirque starts with an orb. And the great thing about this pattern is it can be a big orb, a small orb, any kind of orb you want. Okay. Now we're going to do my favorite thing, and that is put petal shapes around this, okay? They're all going to point in one direction. And we're going to put them in like this. And each time, yeah. So take off from where the last one touches the orb. Draw a petal shape and then land as you come back into the same place. Yeah. Turning your tile or paper, whatever you happen to be drawing on. And there is no rule about that. Use whatever you have. One of Tangler's favorite things is to draw on coasters at restaurants and bars. They are frequently nice like Zentangle tiles. Okay. Keep adding these petal shapes. Well, Cindy, we're just going to call that one a miss. And, well, anyway, you get what I mean, right? Take a little more time than I did. And if you have a problem, you can always thicken that line. And once you get done, people aren't going to really notice. Trust me. Now, my favorite thing in the world to do is the little petal thing, where you start with a line from the point, and you just give it a dot or two on the top. That's my favorite leaf or petal embellishment. It just gets the point across so nicely. And this is probably the reason this is not on Tangle Patterns. Chris has other patterns there, but this, or at least one, I think, but this is not one of them. It's because it's representational, because it looks like a flower, and that's the intent. And that doesn't make it a poor choice, but it does make it not technically a tangle.
Someone's here.
So once this is completed all the way around, going one direction, you're going to want to do a couple more of these in each one of these little indentations. Okay? And try to point them out so that there's a little movement in another direction. So filling each of these gaps with these little petal shapes. And I like to turn mine sort of out a little bit so they look a little different. Start with the big one in the middle, maybe. And just add your little, what I call petal enhancers. And you can do whatever you want with the center. She has examples with one of my favorite tangles called Ripped Screen. Thank you to whichever one of you guys told me the name of this finally. I think for now I can get it. If we don't use it for a while, it may go back into the unused portion of my brain, and I may need help finding that name again. I have a huge unused portion of my brain. All right, this isn't the best example, but it's still pretty. Even with the sloppiness and the mistakes, it's beautiful. So she puts her ripped screen in. And I like to vary where I put those just a little bit. Make it look more random or haphazard. Not much on line consistency there, is it? And then you just take these up the other way. Well, I am not doing a really good job of this, and that's okay too. If I did this again, I would just go straight across. This mess is kind of sad. But it's a thought, isn't it? Anyway, that's my kind of pitiful version of that on a round grid. I should have done that completely differently. But you get what I mean. And this also is the perfect place for, yes, you guessed it, gems. So I don't know which way I'm going to go with this. I think the edge could use a spot of color. Let's find out what we do with Cirque. Isn't this pretty? I just love this pattern. Let's use Cirque. Put this right here in the corner next to Borbs. Seems to work for me right here. See if we can do it. So I'm going to put one largish one and do that, and then if I have room over here I might put a couple of smaller ones, but I want to do this one out first so that all of its little petals are on the top of whatever I put after that. So I'm going to start by redrawing or taking off from the existing line. I'm going to put a little curve and come back and land on that same line. Let's zoom in for you a little bit. Now, I want you guys to turn your tile. The reason that was sloppy is because of the position of my hand. Okay. I drew that one out a little bit. You can see that not shifting, well, this isn't going to work. You can see that not shifting my position is causing me problems with the way this looks. My lines are not consistent. And one more, let me get it, goodness. One more to get in. I'll stop bumping around here. Now, the petals aren't the same size. You know, that one wasn't a great addition, but it's okay. We're going to put stuff in here that makes nobody care. I think as soon as you put petal stuff on it, it makes it nicer. So I've decided no gem. And I'm going to try putting this in here. That wasn't very good, but although I kind of like that. You know, I could put little balls on the ends of these and go with it. I'm actually going to do that. See? If you're going to make a mistake, be intentional. I don't think this is intentionally coming out as nicely as I had hoped, but it'll still be interesting. I intentionally put an extra one down here. Alright. It'll be entertaining at least, right? This is so far from the step out, I don't know if it's recognizable, but we're gonna make it. But I want to reemphasize that that is okay. It does not have to be like mine or the step out or anything else. It can be whatever you want it to be. So if you decide to go in a different direction with yours, that's fine. This is about exploration, not about right and wrong or rules. You do what makes you happy in your own art. Don't ever let anybody tell you that your art is wrong. There is no such thing as wrong art. Everyone has their own interpretation. You know what you like, and not everybody likes the same thing, and that's okay. I think it's important to learn to appreciate lots of different kinds of art. So maybe it's not your taste, that's okay too. Alright, that's kind of a wild and crazy mess, but you know what? It's cute. I still like it. So I'm going to put another one over here. Trying to take off and land. As best I can from the angle I'm doing this. Just like that. And I think I will rip screen this and just do it the regular way so I don't make myself crazy. Like that. And do a bit of drawing behind. This is such a pretty pattern. And a great illustration of, even though this is not a tangle because it represents a flower clearly, that doesn't make it less beautiful or less usable in patterns. I think there's plenty of place for representational patterns in Zentangle, and it may not be strictly Zentangle because the non-representational part of Zentangle is done with a purpose. It's done to relax the mind and allow you to go to that zenful place, and that's okay. But it's also okay to add things in that are representational and make that art form what you want. Do what you want, what makes you happy. No one in this art form is going to yell at you. Well, that's not strictly true. There are a few Facebook groups that if you aren't very careful, you can get, and they're kind of mean about it, but there are a few that I do not post to because I cannot figure out a way to do it without getting yelled at. So I just don't need that don't need that in my life. But I'm okay. I'm okay doing things a little bit differently. That's okay for me. Oh, that's a cute one, isn't it? I kind of like it. I like that. I like that small. That is so pretty. A little bit weird, but pretty. Let's do another one of those. And leaving that little highlight on your orbs like that is such a quick way to make things look cool. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. I was supposed to go under. And so what did I do? I emphasized it. That's okay. If you want to leave your little edges off, you can. I like them. I think it finishes it up. If you can't fit 3 in, that's all right. All right. I think that's as far as I want to go. I like it. For shading, I'm going to add a little bit of graphite at the tip of each of these petals and around one side of the middle orb. And I think just that little bit is really going to dress this up. Either that or it'll be a big mess like usual, and that's all right too. All right, let's see what we end up with. So you just want to gently blend this up into the middle. Decrease your pressure on your tortillon as you move up, and that will help sort of give you a lighter touch. Blending is so much fun, isn't it? You've already done the work, and you get to see how it turns out. Or you reach for your eraser and you get started again. Could go either way here. I just really like those little ones with the black centers. All right. That is day, oh my goodness, that is a really pretty square, or a really pretty section. I like it. I really want to add color in there, a lot, but we're going to let it stand for today. This is day, I don't know, 89 or something like that, and I'm going to see you tomorrow for day 90. 10 days left, guys. Thank you for being with me, and I'll see you then.